everyone, and welcome back, or if you are new here, hello and welcome. My name is Leah. Thank you so much for joining me here today. For today's video, I am in a new place, I guess you could say. I had to switch my filming area from downstairs in my storage room, which was all set up with a nice backdrop. I had my desk, my lighting, everything. It was great. But now that online learning has kicked in full force here in Ontario for my kids, I had to find room for all of them so they could all take their, classroom meetings and not be interrupting each other. So my filming area got overtaken by my 12-year-old daughter. So I am in my bedroom beside my vanity and, rigged up some stuff here so that, my mirror that's behind here isn't blinding everyone with the ring light. Anyway, that's where I am now. Same house, different location, couple floors up. That's all. For today's video, I'm going to be going over the items that I had in my I'm Broke project pan. It started in September of 2020 and I had 20 items, not because of 2020, it just kind of worked out that way from when I was going through my collection and picking things out. So I'm just going to kind of do a finale and wrap things up on that project so that I can, in another video, tell you what I'm going to be focusing on next. Okay, so let me just say first off, right off the bat, that I did learn a few things from this project pan and I'll discuss more at the end of this video. However, one thing that I feel I need to mention now, because you will notice some inconsistencies when I'm going along and giving you some information, is I have learned that I need to do my weighing on a flat surface, like a hard top flat surface, not my squishy bed, which is beside me. I mean, I always had like a hard book or something and put and I would put the what is it, scale on the book, and then I put the product on. That, no, don't do that, Leia. Don't do that, other people. It doesn't work so well. Find a table or something to do it on. So that is what I will be doing from now on. I did learn that. So yeah, you're gonna hear some really interesting weights. Somehow things were expanding instead of getting used less. But that's the way it is. That's the way it worked out. And yes, I did learn, do not do it on the bed on a squishy surface. Even if you have a hardcover book to put everything on, do it on a hard flat surface, because hopefully my numbers will work out for this next pan I'm going to be doing. Because yeah, it was interesting. The first item that I have to show you is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlighter. This is what it currently looks like. I was focusing kind of in this spot here, and it's got waves in it, so I picked a low point and I was really hoping I would hit pan. And yeah, not a pan to be seen, and I use this pretty regularly, probably 2 or 3 times a week, and I mean, I would go ham on my highlighter because I wanted to see pan on it, and there's no pan. So all I have to say with this is it's a good value. I mean, I know this particular one isn't available anymore, but if she comes out with any more in this format, I think it was around 50 Canadian dollars. But I mean, I haven't hit pan. I focused on this a lot. There's a lot of product in here, and it's a really nice high quality product. I really like the shine that's on it. But yeah, that's what this looks like. And this is, right from the get-go, we have wacky weights going on. So it started out, so I thought, at 78.1 grams. And then it went to 78.5, 78.2, we're doing good, and it ended up at 78.6. So it ended up, quite a bit higher. It went up and down, actually. I don't know what I was doing. Yeah, I just noticed that, 78.1 to 78.5. And I don't know what I did. It ended up at 78.6. That's what I weighed it on. I did all the final weights on a flat surface, like a tabletop, and that's what it ended up at. So I have no idea what it started at, but I did make good progress on this, and I really do like this highlighter. Next up is the Laura Geller Tropic Hughes Baked Blush. This one, I was specifically kind of working on this little area there. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like a little teeny tiny divot that was in there, so that's always what I focused on. I'm not sure if you can even see from the side at all, but it used to be domed and rounded, and now, maybe you can tell this way, I don't know. It is neither, it is more like this instead of this, if that explains anything. So, I mean, I didn't get far on this, and honestly, I don't know if I'll keep it, just because I find this is very glowy. You know what, I think I am going to declutter it. I decided I was going to declutter it when I was doing the pan every time I used it. But yeah, I think I'm going to declutter this one. It's pretty, but because of the swirling in it, it tends to pull more of that purple out a lot on me, and then it makes it, with the glow, kind of have a gray cast, and it wasn't very brightening, hence, even though it's called the Baked and Blush and Brighten. Anyway, it didn't brighten for me. It kind of made my skin look a little gray when I had it on, so I wanted to love it, and it's a pretty color, and I've seen it on other people, and it looks great on them, but for me, I don't like how the color that it tends to pull, so I'm going to get rid of this one. But information-wise, let's see. It started out at 52 grams, then we went to 51.7, okay, we're doing good. We went down to 51.5, then we went to 51.5, still good, but we ended up at 51.6. So not as big of an increase as the Amrezy, but you know, an increase nonetheless. The next item is the Benefit Kabrow Pomade. This is what this guy looks like. This is pretty hollowed out in there, and this is the full size one. So this started out at 21.9 grams, then it went to 21.4 grams, then 21 grams, and it ended up at 20.6 grams. So what's that? A difference of 1.3 grams, so I'd say that's pretty good. If I got this again, I would get the mini size, just because I had to add some facial oil to it a couple times to loosen it up a bit, and then the formula wasn't quite the same, but as it is now, it's drying out and it's too, it's kind of crumbly and gross. So yeah, I'm gonna chuck this. It served its life well. I used quite a bit of it up. It's almost done. I'm gonna call it done, even though it's not completely done. But for Leia, it's done. It's no longer usable. But yeah, I would definitely repurchase this. I would just get it in the mini size. I have the Maybelline ColorTattoo. This is in the shade Bad to the Bronze. This is what it looks like now, and I didn't use this very much at the beginning of the project, but then throughout like the last month or 6 weeks or so, I did use it more frequently, and I really do like this. I was actually going to declutter this at the end of my project pan because I figured it was getting old. It is starting to separate a little bit around the edges, but it still is pretty creamy. Not that I'm going to be able to do it now with my nails on, but yeah, it's pretty creamy and I like it. I don't wear it on its own, but I really do like it as like an eyeshadow base if I want to make more of a golden or a bronzy or a taupey shade kind of pop a little bit or stay on a little bit better. I'll use this as a base, and I really do like it that way, so I am going to keep this one. And this started out at 49.2 grams, then it went to 49 grams. And it ended up at 49.1 grams. So again, it went up 0.1 of a gram, but not super significant, but a little bit. I have the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. This is something I'm going to declutter. I've had it for about 3 years now, I think, and it's starting to get a little bit of a funky smell. I haven't really used this, I think, since October. This is nice in the summer months just because it helps keep, I wouldn't even say my oils. I would say, because I'm not oily, I have very normal skin. In the summertime it gets a little bit more oily, but I find this helps keep the sweat at bay as well in the summertime. I would consider purchasing this again if I thought that I needed it in the summer, but it is getting old, and I used it a lot for about the first 6 weeks, and then I just didn't, it was too heavy on my skin. So this is something that I might repurchase in the future, but probably not. But I mean, if you're looking for a mattifying primer, this is really nice. It doesn't have a lot of slip to it or anything. And yeah, it's a little heavy feeling, but it works, especially for a drugstore. This started out at 30.9 grams, then I went to 26.5, then it went to 25.8, and we ended at 25.9. So again, it went up a gram from the last update, but it's still a decrease from the 30.9. So I used a total of 5.4 grams. No. I used a total of 5 grams. Math, Leia. do it. So this is gonna go in the garbage because, like I said, it's kind of getting a funky smell now, so I don't want it on my face. Next, I have this LOV Dual Concealer, concealer and retoucher. It does have the stick on here. This I just find a little bit too drying for me, so I didn't really use the stick. My thought was to maybe use it as a stick foundation a little bit, but I didn't get much use out of it. I didn't like how it tugs on my skin. It's not emollient enough for something that I would enjoy. However, I don't know if you can tell, this is scraped almost completely clean. If you wiggle this around the right way, trying to like scrape it, the stopper comes out real easy. Is it gonna do it for me? I mean, there's a little bit in there, so I'll probably work on finishing that up. Anyway, there's very little left in here, maybe 1 or 2 uses. So yeah, that's really nice. So I used up almost this entire side. And this started out at 31.8 grams, then we went to 30.7, then 30.4, and then 29.1. So we did very well. We actually went down the entire time, and we used up just over 2 grams of product. We, meaning I. You didn't do it, I did it. So yeah, I might, oh, there we go. I got the stopper out now. So not sure if you can tell in there. I didn't scrape it out. I might take like a concealer brush or an eye brush just to use the last bit of it out of there. But yeah, I did pretty good with that. I was proud of myself. And I like that when you wiggle it around the right way, the stopper just comes right out. That was convenient. No extra tools needed. I have this Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. This was just a sample size or a mini that I got with the birthday gift from 2020 for my birthday gift, yeah. Anyway, this is all gone. So this is not something I would ever buy again. A lot of people rave about it. I personally didn't care for it. It didn't do anything for me, and for the price tag, it wasn't wowing me to want to go out and repurchase it or purchase it. But it started out at 16 grams and now it's gone, which does nothing because I didn't weigh it again to see how much was actually in there, but it's gone. It's empty. There's nothing left. I'm such a good panner, aren't I? Okay, let's see. Where are we at next? The Buxom Lip Cream in Dolly. And this is what it looks like. It's hard to see because it was laying on its side, so maybe you can see it there, but it's got like a good bit out of it. I think I'm probably like right here when it all settles. I should have marked it. That would have been much more entertaining to see and satisfying to watch. But this started out at 22 grams. Then I went to 21.8 grams, then 21.6, and I finished at 21.4 grams. I have this little guy here. This is the Essence Eyebrow Designer. This was in the shade, do I have it on here still? Oh, just 02 Brown. And it is gone. There's nothing left in there. The pencil, it completely came out, or it ended. I'm not sure what it was. So there's no product left in there. And I really do like this eyebrow pencil. I've used a bunch of them up. And now that one's gone as well. And that started out at 22.4 grams. Then I went down to 1.6 and now it's gone. And I didn't update the last one. So the grams kind of mean nothing right now. I suck at this. I will do better next time. You know what? Just be proud I'm actually doing a finale video and I did updates because that's never happened before either. Good intentions, just not a lot of follow through when it comes to project pans for me. So I have the Beauty for Real Shadow Stick, and this is in the shade Ever Starstruck. This is gone. I know I could probably dig in there with, what is it? The tools that I have. A scraper thingy. I could pull more out, but what's the point of that? It's just shadow stick. So again, similar to the ColorTattoo, I really liked this for shadows that were more of a champagne or a lighter color as a base for those, because it really made them pop and be more vibrant, and it held on to those shadows and made them last. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. I have the Essence Volume Booster Lash Primer. I stopped using this. I have a love-hate relationship with this. I know some people love it and some people hate it. I guess it's very polarizing. I find it's very finicky depending on what mascaras I use it with. And I know you're only supposed to use like a little bit with it, but it's starting, after it was getting older, it was starting to get goopy, and I would like scrape the sides and everything and it would still go on goopy on my lashes, and then it would make for a really uneven application of my actual mascara. So I stopped using this probably about 6 weeks ago or so. But this started out at 17.5 grams. Then I went to 17.1. It went down to 16.9 and I ended up at 16.6 grams. So I almost used up 1 full gram of it. So at least I used some of it, but this is going in the garbage and I wouldn't purchase this one again. I have the Colourpop Lippie Stick in Lumier. I was really bad at keeping this on a separate thing, so I'm going to show you what I have on here. So this is what it started at, where this black line is, and this is where I ended up at, where the green line is. Again, I will get better, I promise. I shouldn't promise. I hope I will. Okay, so this started out at 10.1, then it went to 9.9, and then it went back up to 10 even. So I used 0.1 gram according to the final in the, yeah. I like this. I'll keep it. I'll keep using it. And it's a pretty color. I don't go through Lippie products that well or that quick because I don't reapply stuff throughout the day. So once it's on in the morning, it gets used once and that's it. Once a day. Next up is the Buxom, what is this? Buxom, it's got a name. Plumpliner lip liner in the shade Incognito. This is what it looks like. It has one of these lip brushes on the other side, and this started out at 8.1 grams, then it went down to 7.3, then we went up to 7.6, and then we ended up at 7.1. So bravo, yay. And again, I will show you my lines on my paper because that's just how I did it. So if we see where this pink line is right here, that's where I started, and then where this green line is here, that's where it ended. I have the Nars Satin Lip Pencil. This is in the shade Rakugien. And this is starting to get like a funky smell in it, so I stopped using it I think in November. Again, it's a lip product, so I didn't use it too often to begin with, but it started out at 8.4, then I went to 7 grams and it ended at 7 grams. But yeah, did I take a final thing of it? This one I didn't even measure the last of it, but it's going in the garbage just because it is starting to get a funky smell and taste kind of a little weird when I lick my lips when I have it on. Another Nars lip product is the Nars Velvet Lip Glide. This is in the shade Bound. It's been laying for a while, so you can't really see where it's at visually. But I started out at 34.4 grams, then it went down to 34.1, and I ended up at 31.9 grams. And I really do like this product. It's starting to maybe have a slightly different scent, but it was expensive and I really like how this feels on the lips. So I'm going to keep wearing it. However, I will say I find the, what are they? These things, the Maybelline plumper glosses, I find their texture very similar. They have like more of a slippery, kind of thicker feeling on the lips. And so, I mean, these are close in shade too. This has sparkle though. But I think if you like these and you're looking kind of for a cheaper alternative, these are nice. These aren't as pigmented. These are a gloss and they're not quite as pigmented, but they are definitely the same kind of feel on the lips. Oh, this is a messy one, and this is why I didn't end up using it all up, but it is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Shine Proof Powder. This is in the shade 04 Natural. I know I could have repressed this. I didn't want to, but can we see this? It's all broken up, and I mean, I started kind of crumbling up parts of it because it was all scattered, and I thought, oh, if it's loose, I'll use it more, but no, I didn't. So, yeah, I'm gonna chuck this soon, like in a minute. And this started out at 68.9 grams and went down to 64.4, then 62.7, and we ended up at 61.9 grams, so a difference of 7 grams. So I did use quite a bit out of this. I wouldn't repurchase this again. I think it might have even oxidized on my skin a little bit, because when I would put it on, it would look fine, and then it started to look a little orange throughout the day. And I'm pretty sure it was probably because of this, or it was mixing with my foundation and causing my foundation to turn a different shade. But yeah, and it did it like anytime I wore it. It wasn't just like certain times. So yeah, I wouldn't purchase this again. I'm gonna throw it in the garbage now before it makes a bigger mess. Oh good, it made it. I I had, just because I had them, added these two teeny tiny Porfessional primers. One is the Pearl and one is the original. They started out at 7.6, then they went down to 4.1, and now they're gone. So that tells you nothing as to what they ended up at, but there's nothing left in them. They're garbage. I have the AOA Perfect Setting Powder. This is in shade 20, Brightening. Not sure if you can tell where we're at in there, but that's how much I have left. It started out at 25.1 grams, then it went down to 24.3, 23.8, and I ended up at 22.4 grams. So I used quite a bit out of out of here. It is something I'll continue to use and I'll use up. I would purchase this again. I used it mainly for my under eyes. They do have some other shades. I think they have a blurring one or a softening one that I think I would try next. But I think for $1 American, you can't really go wrong for the price, and it was a nice powder. I mean, it's tiny, but it's lasted me a while, but I don't use it all over my face either, so I like it though. I have an eyeliner here from Essence. This is the Essence Extreme Lasting Liner, and this was in 02 but First Espresso, I think is what it was called. But this is completely gone. I'm not sure if you can tell, but there's like a white nubby thing on the end. There's no more product there anymore. So this started off at 3.7 grams, then 1.8, and then it was gone. So I didn't do the final number, so sorry. And the last item that I had in my Eyebrow project pan in 2020 was the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Trio. This was one I wanted to finish so bad, and I got so close. I will keep this and I will finish it because I am almost there. So this one started out at 93 grams, then it went down to 91.3, then it went to 90.8, and I ended up at 90.3 with it. So yeah, I used almost 3 full grams out of it, and I made significant pan in it. Like there's only a little bit left here and here. Those are all the items that I had in my Eyebrow project pan. I have learned, again, several things. The weighing is important. I mean, I need to weigh it on a flat, hard surface. I also need to make sure I weigh things even if they are empty, because it still adds to, you know, just if we're giving out numbers, we want to know what it ended up at, because I mean, it's not 0 because of the packaging. So I know this. Going into it, I knew that, and yet I didn't do it. So I don't know why, but I have learned. The other thing I have learned is that I don't do well with lip products in project pans. I get bored with them very quick. That's one thing that, you know, I kind of just like to switch up every day. I don't want to be focused on a certain lip color. And again, I don't use them enough to go through them that quickly, only applying them once a day. The glosses and lip liners I tend to go through a bit more, so I might focus more on those in project pans. And what else did I learn? I learned that I don't like long project pans. I think 3 months is the most that I will do for one. I get bored way too quickly in them. Kudos to those people who can pan a whole palette or do a whole year of stuff. Or yeah, you are my heroes when it comes to project panning, because I can't do it. I don't have the stamina or the desire to even go that far, but I do enjoy watching people who can, because yeah, it's motivating for me. I have no desire to do it. Let me know in the comments below if you do project panning, and how do you feel about it? Do you enjoy the longer ones or the shorter ones? Or are you just really good at it all, or does it not work for you at all? But I would like to know if you have a channel and you do it. Let me know in the comments as well so I can go and check it out. Oh, and if you know any good groups to join to get ideas, I don't mind being a part of them. I've only found some that do more long-term ones, but if you know ones that come up with some really creative short-term ones, that would be awesome to hear about. So if you can let me know about any of those, that would be much appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.